subscribe and share. Please, turn off the ad block, subscribe, and share. Links will be below for anyone wanting to support this channel.
Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett and I'm the founder and owner of TechViews Nope, and today we are taking a look at a recording that I've made from Fred Haise. Fred Haise, he's an Apollo 13 astronaut. They made a movie on him and quite a few other things. He stopped by last week, early last week. I was doing some stuff down in Mississippi for the NASA's rover team, and he stopped by and I didn't know that he was going to, so I had to do what I best I could with the cameras that I had, and unfortunately the audio and video quality is not up to par, but it's still usable. Now, one thing I want to mention that's very, very important for this will be broken apart through multiple things, multiple videos, and on top of that, because many factors happen, corruption of files and many other things, unfortunately there's going to be some gaps from when he's talking about one thing and just goes to something else, and that's literally just the best I can do with the equipment I have. If you want to help me out, I got a Patreon campaign and PayPal donation. But as far as things go, since I'm not going to be talking out through the rest of this video, then please like, please subscribe, please share. If you like this, you know what to do if you don't. But leave a comment below if you want me to answer anything, or if you just want to comment. And feel free to ask any questions about the event or anything else. Again, this has been Craig Bennett, the founder of TechViews Nope, and hope you have a great day.
For reliability. One row, they had rows of these, probably actually a row of them, these cabinets a little wider than this room, and they had 5 rows of those. The first row was for the support, the real-time computing complex, which took our spacecraft telemetry and converted it to display on scopes that the controllers in the room looked at. And the other 4 rows were for storage. The one row across constituted about 1 megabyte. So Mission Control, the Wizard of Oz, had about 5 megabytes of total memory. So that's that gives you a feeling. I normally hold up for young children that know about jump drives or flash drives. I use an 8 gigabyte to hold it up and say, this is 85,000 times more memory than we had on board. To give them a feeling for that. But no, that's probably the biggest change going on. And over the years, I'd hoped we'd have done more in propulsion to make the thoughts of going to Mars beyond someday look a little easier to do.
Do you feel that the propulsion technology hasn't gone as far as some of the other technological components we've been working on?
Well, the reason is lack of funding. The kind of research technology work that's going on is just about dried up. The Air Force was big into it at one time, and NASA, of course, and it's been not funded for probably several decades. So, yeah. Speaking of community college, it was a junior college, Perkinston, which is now Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College for 2 years. Then went off in the military during the Korean War, became a pilot, flew in 2 Marine fighter squadrons, did not see combat. The war got over before I finished flight training. And then went back to school to get an engineering degree at the University of Oklahoma. Anybody here from Oklahoma? One. Okay, one. Anybody here from UT, Texas? But at any rate, I went finished aeronautical engineering and went straight to work for NASA as a test pilot at Lewis Research Center in Cleveland and then transferred after about 3.5 years, to NASA's Flight Research Center at Edwards Air Force Base in California. And we had programs like the X-15 program. I didn't get to fly it, but we had those kind of programs going on, a lot of aircraft type research. And again, after another 3.5 years, I joined the astronaut program. And most of what I'm going to tell you about today is my experience after entering the program. Basically, I followed Neil Armstrong. Neil was 2.5 years ahead of me. He started at Lewis with NASA, same as I did. He went to Edwards, as I did, and then he joined the astronaut program. So I was just about 2.5 years behind Neil in that to get into the program. But at any rate, let's see if this thing will work. It does. I was once a young boy. Just set age-wise, I'm now 81 years old. I'll be 82 this year. And here's my graduation picture from high school. This was at PERC now. I was interested in journalism my first 2 years. It's kind of another story here. You should have goals, and you all have goals for where you are now. And my goal was to be a journalist through the first 2 years of community college. I enjoyed it. I was actually here. I was editor of the Bulldog Barks, it was called, PERC's newspaper, my second year in school. And had planned actually to go on and continue and get a degree in journalism at the University of Missouri, which is a renowned school in journalism. So that was my plan, but the Korean War sort of put me on another path. And that's the way life is. And even if you have a goal, if you find something that you have more passion in, which I did in this case, flying, I just loved from the start, and knew I was going to make a career now of flying. In journalism, kind of got put to the side, so I went on another path. Young guy here, and showing off in his flight suit back in our backyard in Biloxi. I was in training at Pensacola part of the time, Texas part of the time. And here I am finishing flight training, getting my commission. And really, the ceremony here was the Admiral giving me my Navy wings. I was already commissioned at that time, Second Lieutenant Marine Corps, and that's my sister there with me in Pensacola. First squadron I was in, we flew Banshees, this aircraft, which was featured, if you've ever seen, it's an old movie, The Bridges of Toko Reed with William Holden. That was the aircraft they were flying in that movie. And second squadron, I had F-9, F-8 swept-wing Grumman aircraft, first aircraft I broke the sound barrier in. And this is just a picture later at NASA. We had T-38s, was our primary taxi cab that we used to get around the country in. To the business we were involved with the testing of vehicles and design business. All was done at contractors. In the case of the command module, that was in California, Downey, California. And in the case of the landing craft, the lunar module, that was in New York, Grumman. The first, this is kind of an interesting story here. At Lewis, when I went, we actually started the second zero-G program in the country using this aircraft. It's a Navy AJ-2. Actually has 3 engines. You see the R-2800s, buried in the tail here. There's an exhaust back here, and an intake on top. That was a jet engine. So it has 3 engines, one J-33. It was to be the first atom bomb carrier. Atom bombs were pretty big back then, off a carrier. And we inherited this aircraft to do zero-G in at Bombay, testing fluid systems, which Lewis was involved with mostly. And the first zero-G program was by the Air Force at Wright-Patterson. They had a conveyor and they floated people around. It was even at that early days, I'm talking now, late 50, 59 to 61. They started the first physiological experimentation with people